Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning. People asked yesterday, said, Bob, you were kind of melancholy and not yelling and ranting and raving, and it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and you know, we have all lost loved ones, and you never get over it. And I thought yesterday, out of respect, and I'm going to piss some people. Why would I say that? I know I'm going to. It's not because these guys and ladies were gay that got killed. I'm hurt because it's somebody's daughters, somebody's sons, somebody's brothers, sisters, maybe husbands and wives, same-sex marriages. That's okay. But I felt yesterday I was compelled not to really go out of the box, because I don't care, gay, straight, it's somebody's family members. But you notice how these asswipe, no good, son of a bitchin' bastard, low-life, bottom-feeding, scum-sucking, cockroach-sucking son of a bitches, they just want to keep this crap up. I'm tired. And here, I get the paper today. Now, all these people were killed. And I sincerely feel for their families. And I feel for them. You know, they're no longer around. And I'm sure they were all good people. Give a damn who you have sex with. As long as it's not a child and an animal, I don't care. But now we got every day, it's the same thing. They've got it in the paper today. They've got all these names. I don't think I've ever seen front page of the Post-Dispatch that had the names of all the military heroes that died on the front page top fold. And I don't want to make it a political thing, but it is. You know, it's an egregious act. And the bastard, I don't know if he was a terrorist or had terrorist leanings, but they say, with the gay community, it was a hate crime. Well, I gotta say, I never seen a some bitch that killed somebody that probably didn't hate him. For some reason, maybe he didn't give him enough money, maybe he was messing around with his wife, but there's always some hatred in a killing. So why did they say because they were gay it was a hate crime? Hell, they're all hate crimes. But for some reason, you know, they just always want to divide. There's not 50 gay people killed. There were 50 Americans, 50 sons, 50 daughters, 50 brothers, 50 sisters, maybe fathers and mothers. These weren't gay. They were Americans. They were people. They were human beings. But we got to say they're gay? And I say that out of respect, out of total respect for the proud gay community. You've heard me many, many times. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn who you have sex with. as long as they're consenting and they're adults. I don't care, do it in the privacy of your bed. I've said that before all this stuff came about. I don't think less of somebody because they're gay. I think a little less of them if they're gay and they're a guy and they go out swishing around thinking they're a woman, trying to get into the women's bathroom. Good ploy, I gotta say. They're smarter than we are, guys. But at the end of the day, it's not about gayness. It's about fairness. It's about right and wrong. And now all of a sudden, we've got front page, top fold, a time to mourn. Sure, it's a time to mourn. It's a time to mourn every day when somebody dies. It's a time to mourn when a policeman, 2 or 3 policemen got killed. I didn't see their names on the front page, top fold, like a big memorial. And I'm not saying that the Post shouldn't do this for these people that were killed down in Orlando. But let's do it for our military heroes, for our first responder heroes too. Why are we putting, and I know it's not politically correct, and I know it's not the time to say it, but I don't give a damn. This is America. I'm going to say what I want. Don't want to be politically correct. That's what's wrong with this damn country. Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants everybody to like you. So you say what you think they want to hear. No, I'm going to say what I think, not what I think you want to hear. And that's during the election too, and we'll get off into that momentarily. But think about it, people. And I don't want to make a bad light. I mean, it's a tragedy. It's a total tragedy. And my heart goes out to each and every one of their families. Not because they were 50 gays killed. They were 50 Americans killed. 50 sons, 50 daughters, 50 brothers, 50 sisters. That's who my heart goes out to. Why do they got to keep playing this gay crap? You know, this doesn't do the gay community good. This wasn't a confrontation on the gay community. This guy here, and you notice they had something on the news today that this guy was trolling the gay sites, that he used to go to this place several times, picked up different men. And that's okay. As long as they were 18 and consenting, that's okay. But they wanted to hide that. Why the hell would they want to hide that? You know why they want to hide it, because they want to make it a hate crime. And the gay community is just as bad. They're playing this up. They're playing this up more than it should be played up. It was a terrorist act. It was an act of a criminal, an evil criminal, who I believe just happened to think, hey, I'm familiar with this gay place because I'm gay. I know I probably have less resistance in a gay nightclub. So that's where I'm going to make my statement. That's where I'm going to make my statement that I'm for Islam, that I'm for ISIS. I might as well make it in the place that I'm going to have easy pickings. And that's just my play. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This wasn't a hate crime on the gays. This guy was gay. It was not a hate crime. He was just familiar with the area, familiar with that club that he'd been in and out of for a year, familiar with the gay community because he was trolling the gay sites and had allegedly picked up guys there before. He'd been going there a year. Now, why the hell, and I understand the gay community is hurting, but they're not the victim. The gay community is not the victim. It's these 50 people, these 50 Americans that are the victims. It's their families that are the victims. It's not the gay community. But everybody wants to play up on that crap. And it's not just the gay community. The straight community does the same thing. The Democrats, the Republicans, they all do the same crap. But it just kind of offended me to have all these guys' names and ladies' names on front page, top fold in the Post-Dispatch. I understand. It could have been somewhere in there. Would like to know who they were, but I mean the news media, and now I'm doing it because of these rotten bastards are doing it. But this is just one day for me. It has to be addressed. This stuff's going to go on for a week or two. That's all that's in the newspaper. We've got guys getting killed over in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. We got people dying in the streets every day. Why should this take precedent? Just because this guy? Now, if it had been in a group of white guys or a group of Muslim guys, you think it'd have been a little bit different? I think with the white it would have been, because it had just been a horrendous crime. The whites wouldn't have got together. Now the Muslims, hey, you're after the Muslims. This was one evil son of a bitch who I believe thought this was an easy target to make the statement that he made. You know, I think he was a piece of total crap. He could have went into a police department. Of course, that wasn't the best place to go. Those guys got guns. Those guys can be violent. I think he thought, hey, the gay community, typically known as nonviolent, I'd go in there because I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I'm going to kill them all because they're gay. Knowing he's gay? No, it was a crime of opportunity, of least resistance. And then, I know ain't gonna be right, but I gotta say this. I don't need to know the backgrounds of every person that was killed. I don't need to know that. They play it up in the newspaper because it's a sensational story. It's so sensationalized, and we're going to keep it that way so we can sell. We can sell newspapers. But I believe it's a Post-Dispatch. It's the background of all of them. It's got pictures of all of them. It's got backgrounds of all of them. And it's mourning. Everybody's mourning all throughout this country. And it's understandable. But everybody doesn't mourn like this one. 4 or 5 policemen got killed up there in Seattle, Washington, I believe. They had a little recognition, of course. But there wasn't the outpour day in and day out. And let's make this an outpour day in and day out. Not that there were 50 gay people killed, but there were 50 Americans killed. This is terrorism. Let's don't lose sight of what's happening in our great country. Now the gay community, and I'll tell you, it kind of pisses me off. Not because they're gay, because they're trying to capitalize on this, just like the other groups would. I'm not just singling out the gay community. It just happens to be that's who the one it's going on. The situation's going on at this time. But now they're going to try to capitalize on, we should have gay rights. This has nothing to do with gay rights, people. This has to do with the evil devil son of a bitch. A Muslim slanted bastard, a towelhead bastard. And I'll say towelhead any damn time I want, don't give a damn. Do you understand, people? This crap's all out of hand. Gunman was a homegrown extremist, and he probably was. And he definitely was, to kill 50 people for no reason. But the gay community, stand up tall, will you? It was 50 Americans killed that happened to be of the gay sexual orientation, and that's okay. But let's don't throw that gay orientation out on Front Street when it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. It was 50 Americans killed. That's what we're mad about. I don't give a damn if they're gay, they're straight. You know what I think about the transgenders. But I'd hate to lose a transgender to an awful crime like this. But this wasn't about hate for the gay community. This was about hate in his heart. This was about hate for America. It was hate for America. He pledged his allegiance to ISIS. Had nothing to do with gay. They were just the victim of circumstances. So listen, I say this to everybody. Let's take this day, let's take this time out to grieve these people, these brothers, these sisters, these sons, these daughters, because I grieve for my son every day. Let's grieve for them as people. Let's don't put the gayness in front of their death. And that's what's happening. And it just pisses me off. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks like this, and I am nuts. But I don't give a damn. That's the way I think. I'm tired. In the paper, it's not about these 50 people that died. It's about the gay community now. And you guys ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Don't capitalize on this because your brothers and sisters have died. A tragic death. And we all mourn them. But don't use this to further your agenda. Not at this time anyway. Bring it up a year from now, 6 months from now. Let's worry about the dead. All I see in the paper is the gay dead, the gay dead, the gay dead. When a bunch of people died at the show, they didn't say a bunch of straight people died. Now let's be to the straight people. Let's protect the straight people. Let's give straight people rights. Nothing said. And if this was a gay crime, a hate crime, it'd be different. But everybody knows it was an act of terrorism. It was homegrown terrorism. But for the news media, and see, I'm not news media. I'm just a crazy son of a bitch who commandeered the airways. I don't want to be a professional news guy. I don't want to be a professional nothing. You understand? They tried to hide it, and the authorities tried to hide that this guy was gay. Because now all of a sudden, he's trolling the gay sites. He's having sex with gay guys. He's been going to that club for a year. Now, guess what? It's not so much of a hate crime. Now we got to go back to it's a terrorist act. Now, the gay community, apparently, they don't want that. They want to be out on Front Street. They want to further their cause at the expense of 50 people that died? How egregious is that? It's not right. But again, it really, how the news media and how the gay community now has exploited, you hear me, exploited the death of these 50 poor souls, these 50 men, women, sons, daughters, brothers and sisters. And right now, out of respect, not for the gay community, don't give a damn. I don't dislike the gay community, but I don't like what's going on. But out of respect for 50 Americans and the 50 Americans' families that are suffering today and will suffer forever, we're going to have a moment of silence. That's in memory of 50 sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, friends, loved ones. Not in memory of what they did in their life. Not in memory of where they worked or who they had sex with or what they liked for dinner. In memory of 50 souls, 50 decent people, no matter what their sexual orientation. 50 decent people whose lives were snuffed out in an early age because of a radical, no-count, low-life, good-for-nothing son of a bitch. Not because they were gay. We don't mourn because they were gay. We mourn because they're family members. But again, anybody got a play on that? Give me a call. We are America's Voice of Freedom. Definitely the Patriot. You can call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. You can let me know if you think I'm off base, but I really don't believe I am. And when I heard that this morning, that they wanted to hide and not put out the fact that this guy had been trolling the gay sites, had been going out with gay men who had been frequenting that place. See, he was familiar with that place. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He knew exactly what he was going to do. And it was because the gay community was an easy target. Not because of their sexual orientation, their sexual preference, but because they were an easy target. We're going to take care of our little bit of housekeeping. Today's Flag Day, and we're going to have a song in memory of Flag Day. I want to say hi to Paul Dresser. Paul Dresser, happy birthday to Paul Dresser. It's his birthday today, and it says from his sweetheart, Anna. So, Paul, you've got a sweetheart out there, Anna. So, Paul Dresser, happy birthday to you. Also, I want to say hello to Mr. Tim Scott. Met him. He was from Centerville. I had a nice talk with him yesterday, and I want to thank him for his time and consideration. They wanted to put a sign up. Mrs. McIntosh from Centerville wanted a sign. And I appreciate all you guys. It's very, very humbling when people call and say, and especially the black community, the proud black community, hey, Romanik, we want a sign. We know you're not perfect. We don't always agree with you. A couple of them didn't agree with me about Muhammad Ali. But they say, we know your heart's in the right place, and it is in the right place. And I'm going to fight the fight, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite along the way. I'm going to be who I am and what I am. A proud American who believes in the First Amendment. A proud American who can argue with you today and shake your hand tonight. And that's what America's about. But again, I want to thank Mr. Tim Scott from Centerville for giving me his time and understanding, and also Mrs. McIntosh and everybody that's supportive of my campaign and of all the people at the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. I think we're going to make a major difference. Coming up Sunday, June the 19th, from 4 to 8 p.m., Fisher's Restaurant, 2100 West Main. They're going to have their Gear Jammer car cruise. And it's going to be to help the food pantry night. So if you guys can make it out there, please do. It's Sunday, June the 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. Join us for fun. 4th of July Family Fun Fest at Washington State Park will be held on July the 1st through the 4th at Washington State Park, 13,041 State Highway 104 in DeSoto, Missouri. Dine and donate from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Music by Turnpike Cruiser from 8 to noon. I guess 8 a.m. I don't know if that's during the day. It's going to be Friday, June the 24th at the Kaskaskia River House located at number 1 Harbor Point Drive in New Athens. Any questions or concerns? You can call 475-2223. Our good friends at St. Stephen's Catholic Church in the great little village of Caseyville, Illinois, have all-you-can-eat chicken dinner, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy in the works. Saturday, June the 25th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Vote Hall, located at Route 157 in Caseyville. The radio station will try to make it out there. We go out and break bread with Mayor Black, Lynn Black, and his family. Great people. $10 for adults, $7 for seniors. If you can make it out there, please do. I want to thank Subway Dave. He always sends us good information. Saturday, June the 18th, coming up at Fairfield Golf Course in Columbia, Illinois, the Mike Jones Memorial Golf Tournament to benefit the athletic department at the St. John the Baptist Church in Smithton. If you have any questions or concerns, like to get involved, you can call Angelo Alvarez. It's 618-558-8754. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, for the best of all 3 of our great radio stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now, broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, and also never forget the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook, where you can get the best in the political cartoons, political satire, political information, everything to do with politics in St. Clair County and the surrounding area you can get at the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. On this date, June the 14th, 1775, the United States Army was founded when the Second Continental Congress established the first U.S. military service. On this date, June the 14th, 1777, the Continental Congress authorized the Stars and Stripes, the original American flag with 13 red and white stripes and 13 white stars on a blue field. On this date, June the 14th, 1846, California was established as a republic independent of Mexico. On this date, June the 14th, 1864, Congress ruled that black soldiers must receive equal pay. On this date, June the 14th, 1916, a presidential proclamation made this date, June the 14th, Flag Day. On this date, June the 14th, 1922, President Warren G. Harding became the first United States president to be heard on the radio. On this date, June the 14th, 1943, the United States Supreme Court ruled school children could not be compelled to salute the flag of the United States if doing so would conflict with their religious beliefs. On this date, June the 14th, 1954, President Eisenhower signed an order adding the words, "under God," to the Pledge of Allegiance. That's what happened on this date, June the 14th, throughout all these years in our world's history. We're going to take a break. We're going to go out during this break. We're going to go out with a song by Mr. Johnny Cash. He was a great country singer and a great patriot. And the name of the song is The Ragged Old Flag by Johnny Cash. And we will do this in memory of Flag Day, June the 14th. When you see that flag flying, know to be proud that you're living in a country that we can say what we want and do what we want. As long as we don't hurt people, we can live a free life. We can live a life of prosperity. If we work, let's remember that flag today and every day. And let's remember, more so than the flag and what it stands for, our brave military heroes, past, present, and future. Some gave all, and all gave some. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Again, I hope everybody remembers Flag Day. Remember what our great flag stands for. Great song by Johnny Cash. And if it didn't give you goosebumps, something's wrong with you people. You need to go somewhere else than this great United States. I had a couple callers, and they were in accord with me. Had one caller, though, that wasn't real happy. And then I find out that the people, the gay community, didn't want this to be let out, that this asswipe son of a bitch Omar was gay. Now, see, you can't exploit someone's death. But the gays, they're not different. No different than the straights, no different than the blacks, no different than the whites. The Democrats or Republicans, everybody wants to exploit everything. But again, it just amazes me. Here's a guy, and again, my heart goes out to the families. But why do we put these guys now, the fallen, the victims of a horrendous crime, put them sort of up on a pedestal? Here's the guy, I won't mention the name, but Lewis, I won't mention his last, wanted to be a star. The Dancer 20 was working at Starbucks inside a Kissimmee, Florida Target store while studying theater and would have auditioned on Tuesday for a play. He was the most amazing dancer. Omar, as he was known to family members, seems brash. After getting to know her much more, what a great guy. One of Omar's young, old, male, female, gay or straight, it didn't matter to Omar. Blah, and it goes on and on. And I just say, why? I mean, I don't need to know that he was going to go and get an audition at a play. I didn't need to know that he worked at Starbucks inside a Target store. Now, I see their pictures, but they got them lined up. It's like it's a photo shoot. You know, it's like the newspaper wants to do this, and the news media wants to do this because it'll go on and on. It's been going on for 2 or 3. Their faces and their stories. Now, here's what pisses me off. And not because of these people. It's not their fault. It's the media's fault. I didn't see the stories of every brave military soldier who died protecting me and you. I didn't see the whole story, the life story of every police officer, of every fireman, of every first responder who died. They didn't make them out superstars. But for some reason now, and it really pisses me off when I found that out, that people at the Pulse nightclub, they didn't want anybody to know. They tried to keep it a secret, and it's all going to come out that this guy was gay, because at that point, then they can't exploit their gayness. And that pisses me off when somebody's going to exploit whatever their agenda is at the cost of 49 lives, and then the asswipe bastard, he was number 50, of course. But it just, you people, do you understand? I mean, I don't know. Well, Anyway, let's get off that for a while. You can still, anybody like to call? We are America's voice of freedom, definitely the Patriot. Call toll free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. I talked with some people a couple days ago, my proud black friends. And Bob, a couple people are mad because you talked about Muhammad Ali. Well, I said, well, a couple more people better get mad because what I said about Muhammad Ali, I meant. I'm sure he was a proud black man. I'm sure he was a great father, a great family man, and he was definitely a great boxer. But I asked my one friend, what did he do for the proud black community of East St. Louis, the proud black community of St. Clair County? He did nothing. And that doesn't make him bad because he wasn't obligated. But for everybody, just like this situation here, for everybody to come out in the streets and praise him for something he wasn't, he wasn't a world leader. He didn't change anything. He beat the hell out of black guys primarily when he was boxing. And he didn't do it and give it to charity. Now, everybody gives a little bit to charity. I give a lot to charity. That doesn't define the kind of person I am. I'm sure when I die, they're going to have celebrations. Not that I died, but I'm dead. They'll have celebrations all over celebrating my death. Not for what I did, but just because I'm dead and I won't aggravate these son of a bitches anymore. But Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, was a draft dodger. We had a lot of white draft dodgers who I think are low life, no good son of a bitch, low life, what do they call me? Bottom feeding bastard. And that's okay. Because in America, the brave military fight to give those bastards a right not to fight. But when somebody said that this black guy was mad because I talked about Muhammad Ali, well, you know, buddy, you're just going to have to stay mad. I didn't talk about the proud black community. A lot of proud black men, a lot of proud black women who do for their community. And I'm not saying Ali didn't do something for his community where he lived, maybe in Louisville, Kentucky. But to get national recognition, to have kings come over from places, have presidential this, get the Medal of Freedom for dodging the draft and being the separatist, I don't think that's a hero in my book. And you guys know me, I'm not a hypocrite. If that costs me black votes, it costs me black votes. But one thing I will not do, I'm not going to bull crap you. I'm going to tell you the way I think it is. I fight for the black community every day, and I'm not black. I fight harder for the black community than the president of the NAACP, Stanley Franklin. And guess what? He's a plantation Negro, and yes, I said it. I fight for the whites if I think they're right. It ain't a black-white thing. It's a wrong or right thing. And when I think somebody's wronged, I'm going to fight. They can be Hispanic, black. They can be gay. They can be transgender. I don't give a damn. So for somebody to get pissed at me for what I believe in and what I say, then buddy, you don't know the concept of America, do you? You don't know the concept of freedom of speech, of freedom of movement, of freedom of thought. I'm not going to think like everybody else. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to pander to you people and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do what you want. Yeah, I like what you like. No, I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't, because that's my right as an American, and I expect you to do the same. And I'm not mad at this guy who says he's pissed because I talked to, and I didn't talk bad about Muhammad Ali. I talked factual about Muhammad Ali. But don't think I'm going to change who I am or what. Hell, that happens all the time. You let these people bull crap you, and it's bull crap. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do what you say. They ain't going to do nothing. They're going to go up to Springfield, and my opponent, Latoya Greenwood, she's going to go up there and step and fetch for Madigan. So if you people want another step and fetching, don't vote for Bob Romanik. And I don't mean she's going to be stepping and fetching because she's black. She's going to be stepping and fetching because that's what Madigan has them do up in Springfield, so they can get more committees and more money. You've heard that. You've heard me say that 1,000 times. If that's what you want, fine. If you want somebody going to kiss your ass and then steal your wallet, vote for my opponent. If you want somebody who's not going to kiss your ass or cut your grass, but won't steal from you and will fight for you, then vote for me. You know, campaign's over. Slogans are over. But this Muhammad Ali, I just thought I'd need to address that. And why do people think and believe in freedom of speech as long as the freedom of speech is their freedom of speech and not yours? I get mad every day when I hear somebody say something. And I hear my friends say stupid stuff that I think stupid. But they're my friends, and I shake their hands because they've got every right. Again, I'm not a hypocrite. I've got every right to say and feel the way I feel, and so do you good people. But when you feel that way and think that way, have a basis. Have a basis, and don't just get mad because you want to get mad. Same way with this gay situation. Hey, it's a hate crime. Yes, it was a hate crime. You heard me. Nobody kills somebody if they don't kind of hate them or hate the situation. But now the gay community, allegedly, we'll have to find out more facts as it goes on. Don't say he was gay. Well, no, then they can't exploit the situation. And I'm sure I'm going to have some gay people pissed, and I'm at 6500 West Main. You can come up and I'll pick it with you. Not because I'm wrong, but I just like the notoriety. I'll come and pick it with you. You guys know I'm right. And it's a shame. It's a shame that it has to be that way. We've got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hello, Bob. This is John calling to say you're right on the money about the gays being shown up all over the television and the radio and the newspapers, and not a single flag has been lowered for the military guys. And also about what you said about the draft dodger Cassius Clay.
Yeah, well, John, don't give me your last name because they'll people who dislike you as much as they dislike me. John, I know you've been listening. Let me ask you a question. And I mean this sincerely. I don't give a damn about anybody's sexual preference, but does it or does not piss you off when they exploit a situation like this?
Well, to sell newspapers and airtime, that's what they're doing with the names of these people that got killed by that idiot that has to pick up a machine gun and start blowing away people for no reason at all, except his own self-centered, egotistical stupidity.
Yeah, well, thanks, John. I know you stuttered a little bit because you was ready for a cuss word, but thanks for not getting me fined again. I appreciate that. But, to move on with what John said before we take a break. Now let's get rid of all these assault guns. Let's get rid of every gun. Let me tell you, good people, if we do that, the good people, the decent people, the honorable people, the law-abiding people, they'll never have another gun. But you don't think these ass-wipe, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitchin' criminals, these evil bastards, these devils, you don't think they're going to come up with a gun somewhere? You know they are. And if they don't get a gun, they'll get a knife. They don't get a knife, they'll get something to make an explosive. If not, they'll get a car, and they'll run over 50 people at a concert. Do you understand? It's not the gun, and it's a cliche, and I hate to say it, but guns don't kill people. People kill people. So what are we going to do? Let's get rid of the guns, you bleeding hearts. Now, let's get rid of the cars because, all I got to do, hypothetically, of course, I don't even like to say this because some son of a bitch, well, they already done it. They'll see 50, 75 people protesting or church people out somewhere. They'll take the car. So you know what we got to do? Let's get rid of the cars. We got to get rid of cars now. We got to get rid of bow and arrows because you can use a bow and arrow. Hey, you can't have a knife. You can't have a knife. How the hell are you going to cut your meat without a knife? If you know what I mean, Kern. And I said cut the meat, not beat the meat, if you know what I mean. And that's a little off-centered, but that's okay. People, you got to understand. It's the people. It's us who are the no-good son of a bitches. It's not that gun, that innocent knife, that innocent car. When are we going to quit putting the blame somewhere where it shouldn't be? You hear me before. This culture of corruption in St. Clair County is like cancer. If you don't address it, you can't fix it. We have to address the problem. It's evil. It's criminal. It's terrorism. It's not the guns. It's not the bombs. Those guns and bombs will sit there and look pretty forever until some asswipe, no good son of a bitch puts his hands on it, some evil devil bastard, and then you get the results you get. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. We've got elections coming up all over. We've got the St. Louis mayor's elections coming up, and I don't have time today, but I'm going to talk about that asswipe, no good lady, Cruson. Alderman Linda Cruson. She's married to that asswipe son of a bitch, Mike Owens. Used to be a reporter for Channel 5. I think they kicked his ass out. Now he's an attorney somewhere. But here's a little, she's going to save the world. She's not going to save crap. And I think we're going to expose her when it's all said and done. She's just an asswipe politician who's got an asswipe husband, Mike Owens. And Mike, you got a problem, give me a call, you no good son of a bitch, over there in St. Louis. Also, Allerton, we're going to talk about tomorrow. The city of Allerton owns the Centerville Township building, and there's been some discrepancies, and now they found out that Centerville Township office is owned by the good people of Allerton, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to have a little bit more time. Ed Cockrell just stopped in. Ed Cockrell, our good friend, he's a candidate for Board of Review for this great county of St. Clair. And Ed, you told me off the air tax situations are coming up, right?
Yeah, Bob. Excuse me. I think the townships are going to be getting closed very soon by the assessor's office, so everybody needs to get ready. If they're going to file an appeal, or give me a call. 618-406-5767 is my number. Call me if there's any questions or you got any problem with what your assessment is, or need any help with that sort of stuff. I'll be glad to help. Bob, I wanted to give somebody a pitch if I could.
Go right ahead.
You may have done this. I wasn't able to listen to you on the way in this morning. There's the Dine and Donate event down there at the River House, Kaskaskia River House in New Athens on Friday, June the 24th from 11 a.m. in the morning till 2 a.m. the next morning. Dine and Donate. They're going to help the New Athens Volunteer Fire Department out with any proceeds from the event. It's called Dine and Donate to help the firefighters. So if y'all can come down, we'd really appreciate it.
Well, the radio station will be there. That's going to be over a 20. It's going to be a 12, 13, 14-hour concert event with different bands.
Yeah, different bands, and they've got all kinds of stuff. But it's you know, and you come, you'll have a great time. New Athens is where I'm from, and it's a great little old town. But come on down there and support our firefighters. They really do a great job.
Hey, Ed, we sure will. I did discuss that, and you can never get enough advertising. And Ed, again, I want to salute you because you're one of the few public servants that give your number. You've been giving your number out to people that aren't in your district. You're the township supervisor and a county board member in the New Athens area, and I know they're happy to have you because you fight for them every day. But for the last couple of years, you've been giving your number out for anybody. But now you've decided to run for Board of Review in St. Clair County. And they've fought you long and hard. You've ran a few other times, Ed, just about won. But the democratic culture of corruption has always made it where you can't win because, as you said, Ed, you don't want to screw the county out of any money. But you'll be damned if you're going to let the county screw the taxpayers. And I know that's not your verbiage, but that's my verbiage, and I like your mentality on that situation. Yeah,
I'm not wanting to take advantage of anybody, Bob, but I don't want anybody taken advantage of either. I don't think this country was founded upon fair share of taxes, taxation with representation. I don't think anybody's got a problem with that, paying their fair share. It's when other people don't pay their fair share or that a person's paying more than their fair share. But if you feel you're overassessed, that's what we can talk about. Call me and we'll take care of it.
Yeah. And I like it. I know one of your platforms are going to be during the election cycle here that a lot of people can't make it up to the courthouse to discuss it. And I like you having little satellite meetings and stuff all throughout the county to help these people. And if you people understand that means maybe on a Saturday, maybe on a Sunday, Ed will come out as your new Board of Review member and discuss it with you on a Saturday afternoon. Take his time on a Saturday afternoon so you don't have to take time off work. What a great concept. And again, not to screw the county, but to make sure you guys don't get screwed.
I do that now, Bob. I take calls 7 days a week. You know, I do sleep once in a while, and I don't have my cell phone right there by the bed unless it's an emergency. But, you know, anybody's welcome to call me anytime. Again, 618-406-5767. If I'm on the phone or I am busy, I will call you back. You know, I'm one of those, I'm not going to say, yeah, let me call you later. I will call you back. But, you know, let's get it going. Let's be convenient for the taxpayers. I consider it an honor to have been a public servant for this long. I've been on the county board. It'll be 24 years here in December. It's been a not so good time sometimes, but most of the time. But I've always been straight up. Yes, I've made some honest mistakes, but you know, let's just continue trying to help the taxpayers, and that's what we should all do.
Mr. Ed Cockrell, your candidate, the people's candidate for Board of Review in St. Clair County, coming up November the 8th, and I know he's going to be successful. Again, it's Flag Day today. When you drive by, look at that flag, and don't just look at the pretty colors. Look at the meaning behind that flag. Look at the meaning. Look at the men, women who have fought and some died to give us the right to live under that great stars and stripes. Happy Flag Day to everybody. And again, this situation in Orlando, very egregious, and our hearts go out to all the family members and everybody involved. But let's don't take a situation and exploit it for our own good. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. I know I'll be getting a lot of hate calls today, but hey, what the hell? Give me some more hate mail. At least you have to spend 48 cents for a stamp, but I'm going to tell you the way it is every day. If you don't like it, I don't super glue your knob on your radio, and I don't super glue your ass to the chair to get up and change it. So if you don't like what I say, blame all of our military heroes who have given me the right to exercise my First Amendment, and I will not let them die in vain. But in the meantime, let's continue to unite to expose these rotten bastard political parasitical punks, perverted punks that we call politicians. And on Election Day this year and every year, let's do what we have to do to bring this country back to the greatness it once was. Let's destroy them once and for all. Politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where...